Alan, you saw the movie Snack Shack. Tell
Yeah.
us about it.
Yeah, Snack Shack is kind of a coming of age movie. It takes place in the early 90s. Features two kids, AJ and Moose, and played by Connor Sherry and Gabriel Lebel. And these are basically freshmen in high school, end of the year. All year they've been goofing off, causing trouble. They've been brewing their own beers at Moose's house. They get along. For some reason, when they get into an argument, it always ends with someone getting neck punched or wrestled to the ground. It's kind of weird, but summer is coming. AJ is getting in a lot of trouble with his parents. They found the beer. They're threatening to send him to military camp unless he shapes up. And so the two decide that they need to make some money because their beer venture went awry. And they decide to run the Snack Shack at the local swimming pool, community pool for the summer. And that's just kind of what this movie is. It's about them, their friendships. It's a coming of age. Oh, and I mention there's a girl involved. Her name is Brooke. She is very, very pretty. And they kind of fight over her. And so this whole movie is just about them running the Snack Shack, hitting on this girl and who her true intentions are for. And I will say it's pretty over the top. It's not like one of those wacky 80s comedies where it's just joke after joke, but it gets pretty extreme in the sense of shoot, these kids are 14 and they're about to hook up with this junior girl. They're making beer. I think people who this at this time I was in that era where every movie I was watching was being scrutinized from a Christian perspective. This is not going to meet that at all. It's 1991. I had a lot of fun with this, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone. This is definitely not a movie you're going to take the kids to.
Is it R-rated? Is it?
It is. I believe it's R-rated. It should be. Can you scroll on there? It should tell you.
Yeah.
Scroll up. I think it's at the top. It's R-rated.
So
yeah, mostly for language.
It looks like an old school movie that I used to see in high school that they don't make anymore.
Yeah, and that's exactly this. I think it's. I fall short of calling it a teen sex comedy, just because this is a much more grounded movie in terms of the drama itself, the acting, and the story. It's just a bunch of kids trying to make some money over the summer, and then falling in love. And it does get a little bit raunchy here and there. And again, I think parents, if you're sensitive about watching 14-year-olds drink beer and make out and like really make out, you might have a problem with it. And I think that's the thing that stuck with me throughout this whole movie was, whenever it got to like these adult situations, I'm thinking in my mind, this kid's 14 years old, or at least portrayed to be 14 years old. It just said, maybe if they had boosted it a year, made him close to 16, I might have been less uncomfortable about it. But I will tell you, I laughed. I had fun with it. It's got a heart to it, which is good. There's things you connect with, and it falls into that time period before cell phones. And I think for some reason, stories like this work so well when you're not doing it in modern times and not doing it in the cell phone and social media generation. And I think there's a lot of charm to this film.
Do you notice something about it as I was kind of looking at the trailer and whatnot?
Not specific. If you're thinking about something specific, no.
There's it's sort of, there's not a lot of diversity. It's like an all-white cast, and it's like that's kind of rare. I'm just saying it's something worth noting now when everything is sort of a forced diversity. This is it's a period film set in the early 90s in a certain place.
Yeah, it's the Midwest. It's Iowa. It's right Iowa and Kansas, right at the border there. And
by the way, wasn't William Shatner? Excuse me, wasn't Captain Kirk born in Iowa? Isn't he from Iowa?
I believe so. That could have been him. Yeah, AJ could have been Captain Kirk, or Moose could have been Captain Kirk.
So it looks sort of just like basic fun, like almost like what I do like is when you see a film that gets made and is released to theaters, and it sort of it basically resists modernity. That's
Mhm.
not only saying this from what you've said and what I've seen. So,
Yeah, I
is
mean,
that true?
let's see. I mean, I think so.
With
Uh,
14-year-olds drinking beer, I guess it does.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean that was my big issue. Is I would have loved to have the cast been a little bit older for for what happens in this movie. And the thing is, when you cast 20-year-olds to play 14-year-olds, you kind of forget that they're playing 14-year-olds, and so you kind of forgive what goes on.
Right.
Yeah, all white cast. I mean, it's Iowa, for crying out loud. If this was shot in LA, I think you would have more diversity in it. But no, I had fun with this,
Cool.
and
So you
yeah,
recommend it?
absolutely recommend it. For uh, it's kind of like I always fight because the Christian me says no, I couldn't do this, but the one who likes comedy and likes good storytelling definitely like this movie.
Well, the non-Christian in me is interested. So
Yes,
there you go.
and the
Hey,
girl is
but
very hot. So
wait, could you repeat that?
no, I'm not gonna repeat that. You had the clip already. I'm not gonna say it again. But yeah,
All
she's
right.